Good morning, afternoon. Hey, this is the replay of our live stream orientation. You see that I've got the wonderful Kate Harmon here with me, hanging out in the room. She gets VIP green room access before I press that big button to let all of the nonprofits in. But I did want to say thank you to all of you who are watching this on replay. We're going to pack in as much information as we can about Give Local York, which is, of course, coming up next Friday. So Kate, I'm about to press this button here. It is actually my favorite button on the internet, is the admit all button, because all of these awesome people just start cascading in. You don't really know, well, you don't know who's coming because you can't see the list, but I can. But we're going to let in a whole bunch of Kate's friends here, and we'll get going.
All right. I definitely thought you were going to say the woo button was your favorite button.
Oh, the woo button. It's a tie. It's a tie. I love the woo button also.
Yeah.
Good morning, friends. Hello, hello. Thanks for joining in. Guys, as you're joining, please
one friend got in, but he finally let me in. So
we let you in.
Right,
please feel free to turn your camera on if you want to jump in and wave hello to everybody. We'll get going here in just a moment as everyone is still joining.
Chris, I don't know if you saw the weather for next week so far.
I'm going to guess 100% chance of no rain, right? I mean, Chelsea knows.
It looks like right now we're looking at rain on Thursday, and Friday would be good. So that's Friday 5 to 9 is really all I care about. It can rain the whole rest of the time. We had a fundraiser last week, and it poured the entire time while we were outside at Gift Horse. So we're doing it again this Saturday. So if any of you guys want to come join us, we'll be at Gift Horse from 5 to 7, rain or shine, because that's how we roll here at Give Local York.
Okay, yeah, I can give you one of from the handbook. I can use it. Real quick, is there any way
I am going to mute everyone except Kate.
Yeah.
You are on the phone. We're going to get going here in just a moment. As I mentioned, please do feel free to turn your cameras on if you'd like to, completely optional, but we'd love to see your smiling faces. And of course, here today to talk about how we're going to get your smiling faces on camera next week.
Okay, if they're not smiling too, it's all right. We've got like 7 days till Give Local.
Okay.
Yes, I was just going to find it. I see.
Okay, all right. And if you
I found it. There you go. Well, hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Chris Strub, the Giving Day guy. A lot of you guys might know me already from the last few years of working with Kate and Megan and the Give Local York team. So if you know me already, hello, good to see you again. If you don't, nice to meet you. We are joined this morning by Kate Harmon, the big boss of Give Local York. I'm going to let her say hello for a couple minutes here, and then I'm going to explain everything that we're doing next week with our Give Local York live stream. So Kate, take it away.
All right. Good morning, everybody. I just had to look down to see if it was morning. That's how crazy my life is right now. And I'm sure you guys are feeling the same way. If you want to drop your name and which organization you're with in the chat. And I say that because this year we have a record number 328 nonprofits. And over 40 of them are brand new to us. So that's a mix of larger people that are coming to York because they see what we're doing and they want to be a part of it, and also brand new organizations. So I think that alone is a wonderful number to hit going into this year. So it's only up from there. We are happy to have Chris with us. For those of you who don't know our Chris story, we decided to do a live stream in 2020, and then 2020 happened. So thank God for that. So we're excited to continue with it because we found that it is such a wonderful tool for folks during Give Local. Unlike most of us, a lot of people can't take the day off to raise money and pay sole attention to Give Local York. So they're able to watch all day. And Chris has pulled numbers in the past. And I think last year our numbers we had broken some view time records for him until somebody else came along and did the same. But for a while, we were at the top. So we're really proud of the ability to highlight all of you guys. That's the one thing Megan and I feel so strongly about, is that Give Local gives everybody the same opportunities. And we're all working together, whether it be live stream, TV, radio, the big guys and the little guys, since more than half of our organizations are small to extra small. So just another wonderful tool to give you the opportunity to talk about the great work you do here in York County. So we're looking forward to it.
Kate, you're the best. I can't say thank you enough to Kate and Megan and everyone in York. I love working with this Giving Day. It is so much fun. You know, you've probably heard me say that on these live broadcasts over the years as well with our wonderful host, Philip, who will, of course, be back next week. Can't wait to work with him. But yes, I am overjoyed to lead this quick call this morning. I do want to also add that I am thrilled that we are able to accommodate every nonprofit organization that filled out that form that we sent out. Every single group that expressed interest in being on our live stream next week is going to be on our live stream next week. And that warms my heart a little bit to know that we can make that happen for you guys. It's been a goal of mine, you know, for the last few years, is to tell as many great stories as we can. And we want to start there in saying thank you for being willing to share your stories. Now let's get into the nuts and bolts of what this is actually going to look like. Because as Kate said, I know we do have some new faces this year. We will be welcoming you. So let me pause there. We will be welcoming most of you in person to Wellspan Park next Friday. Those broadcasts, I believe, start at 8 a.m. Somebody's alarm is going off, and I'm going to meet you. Okay, we're working on it. Things happen live, Kate. That's what we do, right? So
hey, that was a nice little ringtone.
It was. So you received the schedule from me earlier this week. Can I get a head nod from everyone? You kind of know, you got the schedule from me. Perfect. Most of you will be joining us live in person at Wellspan Park on Friday for an in-person conversation. A small segment of you guys will be joining us virtually on Friday, a nod to the great fun that we had in 2020, Kate, when we were 100% virtual. And we do that for a couple of reasons. One, first and foremost, we want to be accommodating to every nonprofit. Some organizations either can't make it to the park on Friday or might feel more comfortable participating virtually. It also adds a fun dynamic and new flavor to the broadcasts, which you might have seen the last couple of years, where we can do both, where we can have organizations come in virtually and we can, yes, I can. Hold on a second.
Sorry, I'm throwing wrenches. That's how I do.
Yes. So we will be able to accommodate nonprofits both virtually and in person. On that schedule, if your nonprofit was listed in that yellow color, that indicates that you are appearing virtually. And so I will speak in a moment about what that exactly means, but let's start with the bulk of the group, which is your in-person attendees. I am asking that you guys appear at Wellspan Park roughly 10 to 15 minutes before the start of the hour. That will give us a chance to get everyone settled in. I think 10 minutes is just about fine, but we want to make sure that you have a chance to park and then also come in and find us up in the suite. And Kate can maybe remind me of the name of the suite that we'll be in.
Oh, I'm terrible at that. When you come up the stairs, it's either Monarch or Solomon. When you come up the stairs to the skybox area, you're going to go straight or to the right, and you're going to go all the way to the end, and they're the last thing on the end.
Yeah.
That's also where Fox 43 will be nearby, so that's the same entrance. But I'll email all that out with a reminder to everybody.
We will be very clear in that email with the directions as to exactly where to go, but that's where you'll go, is in, up the stairs to the right, and you'll see me and Philip and our whole setup all the way down at the end. The order that you're listed in that email is not necessarily the order that you'll appear on the stream. We always try and gauge kind of in real time if someone needs to go first. For example, sometimes we've had dogs come on the stream, or sometimes we've had organizations bring little kids that we want to make sure we give those groups that priority to, not have to stand around and wait for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So it'll be kind of a real-time feel. It's not whoever shows up first gets to come on first. It's kind of just being courteous to whoever feels like they might need to go first, if that makes sense. So if you do feel like you need to go right away, just make sure you let us know, and we can turn you around and make sure that we order that list properly. Our broadcast style will be very similar to what you've seen over the last couple of years from the ballpark. I expect our setup will actually be almost exactly the same, where you'll see me on the far side with all the tech. Philip will have his back to the stadium, and then you'll come over to a little kind of table. You'll be able to stand or sit. I'm sure we'll have those high top chairs as well. You'll clip on a microphone, and we'll be able to talk to you about your organization for 5 minutes or so, 5-6 minutes. Some of you guys have sent over a video, and assuming that there isn't, a Harry Styles music track on those videos or anything else that's copyrighted, of course, I'll be able to play that video as a part of your appearance, which really adds a lot. If you've watched some of these live streams in the past, it really adds a dynamic feel to what we're doing with those conversations. If you have props or anything like that, we would love for you to bring them. There's been some really memorable stuff the last couple of years. I remember the kids last year in the green bean and carrot costume, for example, coming in and dancing around with the food bank. So have fun with it. That's what we're there for, is to really bring light and joy and share your message. Kate says, don't tempt me to bring props. We know you're bringing props, Kate. That's built into my contract, is Kate must bring props, right? So we know you'll be there and are looking forward to it for sure. Now, per hour, we have about one nonprofit per hour listed as a virtual guest. And generally what we've done is we've gotten that virtual guest on first in the hour. It just makes the most sense from a production perspective to get that person out so that Philip can focus the rest of his attention on the in-person guests that are coming in. If something comes up next week where you're not able to make it to Wellspan Park, and I got to keep saying Wellspan Park, so that's the only name I call it next week, you can let me know, and we will be more than happy to let you pivot. I hate using this phrase, but pivot to virtual. If you would like to pivot to virtual, I can certainly accommodate that, and we can have you join in the broadcast instead from wherever you may be. So please don't be shy about that. If you would prefer to do that, it's perfectly okay, and we can absolutely make that happen. If you are appearing virtually, you will receive a link to what I call the Switcher Studio Green Room, and I will get that to you as soon as possible. One of the reasons I haven't sent that link out so far is because I'm actually producing another Giving Day on Tuesday here in South Carolina. Kate is applauding, but we will be using that same exact link. And so I just don't want anyone to get confused and, try and join in where you might be interrupting what we're actually producing on Tuesday. So I promise I will give you plenty of time to test out this link. You will just need any device that is connected to the internet with a camera and a microphone. So a phone, an Android, an iPhone works great, or you can use a tablet, or you can use your computer. You can use the same computer you're on right now, any laptop or desktop with a webcam and a microphone will work perfectly. My advice to you in terms of what camera to use is to use the newest device that you have available. So if you have an older laptop and a newer phone, you might want to use your phone instead to make sure you get that clearest possible picture. If it's reversed, then maybe you want to use your laptop and use your professional webcam that you have set up at the office. If you are having an issue with joining the broadcast next week, there's a 98% chance that you did not give permission on your device for it to use your camera and your microphone. So you'll just want to check that your browser is allowing your device to use your camera and your microphone. Usually just refreshing on a phone will do that. Or if you're on your computer, you just want to go up to the URL and make sure you click the little bit that says allow microphone and camera access. If you are joining virtually, we ask that you join the green room between 5 and 10 minutes before the top of the hour. And you'll see Philip in the room. You'll see us getting ready. You might see me. I'll be there to give you some stage directions that we can see and hear you okay. And we'll just go on from there. Again, you'll have about 5 minutes or so to speak to Philip and to get your message across, use whatever props you want to use. And again, if you send a video, I will make sure to play the video. Our big goal this morning is to answer any and all questions that you have. So if you have any questions, you can either unmute yourself and jump in and ask, or you can put your questions in the chat, and Kate and I will keep a close eye on that, and we'll be happy to answer those. So questions. Let's look at what we see. Is the live stream on the website /social or both, so our orgs can look for it to share out? So the best place to watch these broadcasts is probably going to be the Give Local York Facebook page. We find that we have our biggest audience on Facebook there. As Kate mentioned, the people of York love watching this stuff. Like we do a pretty dang good job, and people love tuning in. So I would encourage you, the best way would be to tune in and watch on Facebook.
It's also on we have a YouTube channel if you're on that, but also when you go to Give Local York on the Give Day, up at the top where the prize button, I'm pointing at my screen like you guys can see it. There's a live button. And when you click that live button, it will have the embed of the stream and then also the totals with like gifts that are coming in. So if you're like me and you like to leave a screen open on Give Day to watch everything all the time and the number, that part of the site will be your best bet for that. And that's also what we put up on big screens when we're going to be down in the square from 5 to 9 and other places as well.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen this, it's really fun. I love working with Philip. He's a continuous ball of energy throughout the day. And of course, the backdrop at Wellspan Park is just so emblematic of the York community. And I should say really quickly, huge shout out and thank you to the Revs for having us again. I know, Kate, and you can correct me if I get this phrasing wrong, but Give Local York is like the season-long partner for the Revolution this year. And I believe next Friday is opening day. So how cool is that? And that is why we'll be that is why the streams kind of end in that late afternoon window, so we can get out and let them fill up the stadium with baseball fans. We'll also have some really great entertainment into the evening. You want to touch on what that looks like, Kate?
Yeah, we will be down in the square because it's not going to rain. And we'll have nonprofits. There are so many of them that will be set up around Beaver Street at the Revs as well. And then along the square where Cal Weary's Weary Arts Group and Assorted Studios will have a stage doing live music, taking us all the way up till the 9 o'clock reveal. Around 8:30, I think, one of our board members, Brittany Walker, who performs in York, she'll be the singer for the last part of the evening, and she'll MC us all the way to the final number. So that's exciting. I know also there's a lot of cool stuff going on around the county. It's not just about downtown York. A lot of our friends who support our rivers and streams are having a party up at John Wright. I know Stewartstown is getting together, and a bunch of the organizations there are having a party. So there's a lot going on all day, and especially in that the evening part. If you want to go to our page and then click on the events, you can see all the other stuff people are doing, so that if you're not having something, you can go pop in and celebrate with some other people as well.
Yeah, I can't say enough how much fun Give Local York is. And I know I've said this year over year, Kate, as well, but I cannot overstate how impressed I am by the impact that this day has on the community. I get a chance to, I didn't even really formally introduce myself, but my name is Chris Strub. I'm based here in Greenville, South Carolina, where it is pouring rain this morning, fittingly. But that's all right. We'll keep it down here so it doesn't rain up there next week. But I get a chance to work with Giving Days all around the country. Over the last 7 years, I've worked with Louisville, San Antonio, and a whole bunch of other events in 10 different states. I'm also working this year for the first time with NEPA Gives in the Scranton area. So I'll be back in Pennsylvania again in early June for that Giving Day as well. So yeah, I can't wait to meet all of you guys and hear from you again. And a lot of you guys have become friends over the years. So I look forward to seeing each and every one of you guys next Friday. Allie says, is it too late to send you a video to show during our live stream? And the answer is no, it's not. But I would say the sooner you could send it to me, the better. I do handle, what do we have? 40 something nonprofits here in York. And then I have 2 other Giving Days that I'm doing in the next 2 weeks. So I'm doing the same process with lots of other nonprofits as well. So that courtesy to get it to me as soon as possible would be great. But yeah, if you can email me your video, just do me a favor and make sure, don't expect an answer right away, but do keep an eye out for a reply from me, because I will 100% write back to you to say, all right, Allie, got it, smiley face, or something like that. So I won't necessarily write back right away, but there will be a night, it might be like Sunday night, for example, when I'm downloading all these videos into my device at one time. So just make sure, if you haven't heard back from me by like the middle of next week, that you do follow up with me to make sure that I have it before Friday. And Falk says, Chris, please provide your email so we can send a video, and Kate put it in there. That's me. I'm easy to find. That's my Twitter and Instagram too, is Chris Strub, if you want to follow me and see some of the behind the scenes from how we put all this stuff together at Give Local York. It's always so much fun to get up there and do all this. It's such an honor. Other questions, feel free to unmute yourselves, jump in, say hi. Matt, David, Brittany, Brenda.
Who are you just calling out people?
I am. Matt looks like he wants to say something, but he's muted. So that's why I'm just kind of looking around at the different squares.
Or he's laughing at you. It's okay.
By this point, Kate, I think everybody's laughing at him. When you call yourself the Giving Day guy, it comes with the territory, So I do not want to waste any of your time. So I do want to, if we don't have any additional questions, we'll just wrap things up here and say thank you to each and every one of you guys. I know how valuable your time is, and for you guys to raise your hands to fill out that long, complicated form that I sent you, and then to take some time this morning to be part of this call, and next Friday to come on down to Wellspan Park and or to be on our virtual stream. It means a lot to us. It really does. And it is my responsibility to make sure that we make you look great and we drive new donors your way. That is my job, and I take it very seriously. So if that's all we got this morning, thank you.
Chris?
Yes, Karen.
I'm going to just come in here at the end. We're going to be at the Blue Sky Tavern, and they're playing music like all the time when we're not having live music there. So, I don't know what to say about that as far as, like they pay ASCAP, but I don't know whether that affects our.
Are you, forgive me, are you one of the organizations that is scheduled to appear virtually?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
Here's what I would say. You're going to be joining from your phone, probably?
Probably.
Okay. if you have headphones, if you can bring even like wired headphones, or even if you don't, AirPods would probably be fine. I would think that you should be fine in terms of that background noise. The tech these days is pretty good in terms of being able to isolate the sound. So I shouldn't be picking up, Bruno Mars the whole time, as we're bringing you on. However, if you jump on and it doesn't sound great, we might just maybe ask you to find a quiet corner, or maybe step outside for a moment for the interview, because we do want to make sure that we can hear you, of course, as you're coming on, right? So let's kind of play that by ear. Again, if you're setting up with your phone, I might just ask you to walk to a different part of the business, or step in somewhere where it might be a little bit quieter, but I wouldn't worry too much about it.
They also probably, I'm going to guess it's probably touch tunes. And so you might be able, especially if they're not really busy, to ask them to just kind of lower it really quickly. And because it'll be a quick interview anyway. And then they can raise the volume back up.
Yeah.
Okay. I can do that.
I'm not overly concerned about that as long as you're joining in from your phone, but we will make it work for sure.
Okay.
Other
That's all.
questions? We got a couple more minutes.
Yeah, feel free to email Chris if you have any live stream specific questions.
Yes.
Also at this point, if you have any other questions that can't be answered on our FAQ and aren't specifically related to GiveGab, because a lot of the times I'm just going to be referring you back to that chat bubble. Email is your best bet leading up to the event. And then I know that you've probably seen Megan and my bold italicized things in our emails saying, don't bother us on Give Local. Obviously, if you need us, we're here, but a lot of the problems that you might be having that day are going to be GiveGab related, or where do I go? So I will be sending all of that out. I keep those saved as unopened after I read them, just so I see them real quick when I'm like, oh gosh, where do I have to go? We will give you all of the tools to be successful, and we can't wait to see what you guys do this year.
Yeah, and I would say, as it relates to live stream specific problems, you can feel free to bother me during the day. However, my ask to you would be, please, if you can, send me text messages rather than calling. You can email if it's less urgent, as in it's the morning and something came up and you can't make it this afternoon. But if you're on your way to the park and something happens, or you need to cancel last minute, or you need to change to virtual, the best way to reach me on Friday is going to be via text. And of course, if you text me, just please do me a favor and, tell me who you are in that text too. Cause I don't know the area code up there, but I'll get random texts from people and not know who it is. So I will put my cell number. My cell number is always at the bottom of all my emails. And I'll make sure to, I put it in the chat there as well, but my cell number will be prominently in the follow-up email that also includes that link to the Switcher Studio Green Room. Again, the only other thing that I would mention about that Switcher Studio Room is please test it as much as you can between the time that I send it to you and Friday, but please do not test it on Friday until your scheduled time, because that will be the same link that we're using for the live environment. So if you jump in at another time during the day, it's likely that you would interrupt our live production. So Thursday would be a perfect day to test things out. And if you have any issues, you can always contact me. By the way, just in case we didn't mention this is the first year that Give Local York is starting at 9 p.m. on Thursday. So we're not kicking off at midnight. We'll also have a live broadcast on Thursday, which will not feature any nonprofits. So I would love if you wanted to just put that on your calendar, because I'm certain that between us, Philip will come up with something special and, change his shirt 8 times during the broadcast, I'm sure. And stuff like, you guys know Philip. So we'll do something fun to kick things off on Thursday night. We'd love for you all to join in and watch that broadcast with us from Wellspan Park. It is 10:29, so I'm going to wrap things up there. If you need to send this to a colleague, or you really want to rewatch me talking again for a half hour, I'll send out this replay probably later on today. And again, if you have any questions, send me an email or drop me a text. And we want to wish you the best of luck. And I will see you next Friday in beautiful sunny, cloud-free York, Pennsylvania at Wellspan Park. We'll see you soon.
All right,
Thanks,
thank
Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
You.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
you.